a course viewer, which is going to display the details of the course, and we have the list of courses. I'd like to be able to navigate between the two. So what we might want to do is that the course list might be our kind of like our default landing page, right? That is mapped to this, the root when there's nothing at the URL, and then instead the course viewer might be mapped to a different URL, so that when I click on here, right, I can navigate to that other screen. So let's do that. What we can do, right, is that we can go into our routing module, right? This is a file that was created for us when we first created the project. If you remember, it asked us if we wanted to add routing to our project, and we said yes, right? And so what it does is that it creates this boilerplate file where we can define the routes, right? And a route, if you remember, it allows to map different URLs and display different components depending on the URL. So for instance, what we could do here is that in this array we can define several routes. We can say that if you see the following in the URL, right? Well, this might be courses, then without the slash. If you see this URL pattern, then if you see courses, then we would like to render the following component. We can say that we would like to render the list, the course list component. If instead you see if you see details, then the component might be that you render the course viewer component instead. Okay. Once we've done that, we can go back and then type here, courses. Wait a minute. Let me see. Courses. Did I type this correctly? Courses and details. Why is this not rendering? Routes module. At routing module, yes. Path. Course viewer, yeah. Oh, okay. Once we configure that, we need to go back to our app component, right, and say we don't always want to show this, right? Instead of showing the course list and the course viewer all the time, instead, right, I'm going to generate a placeholder here, right? A placeholder that we're going to inject the dynamic content into this outlet. Notice that it's the router outlet. Router meaning we are going to, this is an output. This is where the output of those routes is going to go, right? Depending on the URL. So if we go back now, notice that details is displaying the course viewer. But if I say courses, right, it displays the list of courses. So now we can toggle between the two. Right? Notice that we can go back and forth between the two, right? And the back button and the forward button work as expected, right? But we'd like to be able to do it instead of using the back buttons and actually me typing here at the URL. Instead, we would like to be able to create hyperlinks that allow me to navigate between the two. All right, so let's take a look at that.